Danger in the Trenches is a digital RTS card game based off of strategy in battle, with a twist. Two players face off in battle using their troops, strategy, and luck of the cards. Victory will be claimed when the player first eliminates the other's funds, or the opponent runs out of cards. Thematically, it follows Western fantasy mythology and a gamble between generals choosing the destiny of their troops through a card game. The target platform is the PC through the Steam store. If the sales call for it, then it can be ported to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The game is intended for an audience of the 8+ age range. Based on the structure of the game and contents within the game, the audience will be of Western origin, i.e. North America and Europe. For the title, our intention was to give off the feeling of war. We want to give the player the chance to fail as if they are the commander of an army, using GP to wager on their own strategic abilities before each battle. This was done to show the cost of war. Setting troops battle each other and win the war, this was done to give off the feeling of a war between tactical minds. Equipment cards were given to the players to help balance, though it is not one-sided. As players achieve more victories, they can enhance their troops. As the game starts, here are the rules the player must abide by. First, they select a character and army deck. Each general starts with 500 GP. Shuffle the cards. Players will then draw 5 cards for their first hand. Players will also place bets at the beginning of the round before battling. They cannot purchase equipment on the first turn. In battle phase, players will play troop cards from their hand. They must have the necessary funds to put them into play. The higher the damage a troop does, the higher the cost of the card to play. Cannot exceed funds to play troops. Funds that were used to bet cannot cover the cost of troops. Can only play 1 wyvern per turn and only 5 possible each game. Player who did the most damage then obtains the bet winnings. After the round has ended, players can trade or consume or purchase items for the next round. Alternate players repeating steps 6 through 8 until one player has lost all troops. Player who loses all their funds and the ability to bet loses the game. Our cards are set up to have the card's name, the image that represents the card, the description, which of course says what it is, and if it has an area of effect, damage over time, and what its health points are. The card stat is its attack power and a defense power, and of course, lastly, 5th, would be the cost to play. Our most important mechanic is our betting mechanic. The player must bet money to attack before the round takes place. Have to bet at least the cost of the troops going into play, and the player who had the most successful bet wins the bets placed that round. Defensive cards. Defensive or attack cards are cards that do damage and cost the player funds based on their stats. If they are higher than the defending troops' defense, then they are victorious, and that troop is eliminated. Defensive cards. Defensive cards are cards that are meant to purely block damage and protect the player and their troops. If the defense is higher than the attacker's attack, then the attack is either null or the opposing troop falls. Within our game, you can trade in various ways. You can use gold to trade. You can trade each other with cards. Of course, the higher the cost, the more valuable the item in question is. Item cards. Item cards are cards with various effects. Some heal, some do damage, or cause certain effects or ailments to infect the player. The gameplay is that of a strategic RTS card game. It is a battle of tactics in the form of a simulated war between two armies. The outcome is decided both by the commander's own tactics and the abilities of his troops, as well as the wherewithal to use their funds properly without running out, thus losing the match. Our major competitors are Magic, The Gathering, Gwent, and Hearthstone. You might ask why our game is unique. Danger in the Trenches' entire gameplay and strategy depends on the player's funds. The heavy reliance on funds helps to simulate the cost of war in terms of both loss of life and monetary loss. In our simulation, the player's troops are a representation of the general commander's real army, adding to the cost and psychology of the players.